Good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're doing well. This is a follow up to Pharaoh. A couple of videos that I did just recently the other day. Well, one was just like a pre intro off the back of what he was saying, which was just ridiculous. And then some other things that I noticed, which was in the follow up video. Now, this is a follow up video to the main video that I did. Yeah, so this would be the third installment and the final installment. Again, in this Validate Me podcast with the girls from the UK, I would say good 80% of the stuff he was saying, I was agreeing with, I skimmed through portions and that, but I would say, a good amount of the stuff. And with Pharaoh, giving me his due, he does tell a lot of home truths. But, just like he's going to say right now, on which I can actually agree with, of why one must understand the game at hand, etc., and be vigilant for themselves, not in a selfish way, but everybody has to come to a particular realization at a certain time. And basically, the people that's out there, like, young Pharaoh, myself, so to speak, yeah, we can't always be the one to aid people. My point is, people just need to wake up due to their own intuition, just giving that extra spark. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then obviously, once it's too overwhelming for they live, then obviously there has to be a flip of the script now of the way things have been going. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So with what he says in 2 seconds, what I'm gonna play, very interesting, very very interesting, and it follows suit to with what is gonna be played afterwards. Yeah. So let's go.
Sounds fun. It sounds fun. Can't hear it.
I'm still gone?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully we will get it done. I'm just the type of person I am personally. I don't have low expectations, but I just don't have high expectations. I just feel like it's on you.
Not being praised, Nicola. They've been doing so. So I feel like you shouldn't say no because your efforts are going ahead and doing that too. Because I know that we wouldn't have discovered half what we've discovered if we hadn't have seen your videos or some of the information that you've seen, and you've spoken about. Then has it sparked us to go off and research it into other things and also inspired many Kanye Styles type brands. But no, it definitely is contributing because now, like on YouTube and everything, people can easily find the information themselves. Yeah. And then it triggers them to go and research it and look into it further. And share it with other people that they know. Okay, half people may not want to hear it, but there might be something that someone's like, oh, I like that, and that it might trigger something. And then they might start their own YouTube channel and put it on YouTube too.
Hopefully, me personally, the reason I keep this mind frame is because I don't ignore reality, and I know that y'all in the UK, but I know in America.
I gotta pause that. He says he doesn't ignore reality. Yeah, now I know. I'm just saying, I just had to pause that as in for overall because what we're gonna get to. But anyway, let's continue because I didn't even mean to pause it there. But just keep that in mind, yeah. He doesn't ignore reality. Okay.
Ignore reality, and I know that y'all in the UK, but I know in America, I've watched plenty people of all kind of races, not just black, white people, dedicate their entire lives and lose their entire lives to care about the general public, people they don't even know. There's been people who've written books and been murdered over here, just hoping that somebody that they don't even know exists read that book. And people have read the book and still don't give a fuck. And so, me personally, we talking about chakras and keeping your heart chakra clean. Motherfucker not gonna break my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna invest myself into a stranger to the point where it could come back and damage me. So the most healthiest philosophy that I can have for the work that I do is, if you do, you do. You don't, you don't. But just watching so many people over here lose their life of all races, not just black people, white people die every day. You know how many white people have died over here trying to teach us how to create vehicles that run off water. You know what I'm saying? You know how many people the government then killed for their patents? You know what I'm saying? It ain't even just black. It's white people over, all kinds of people over here have died to say, hey, here's a healthier way. They didn't even try to start over. They just said, hey, here's a better way. And these people have been killed for this shit. Or so it's just like, and we know. Even shit like books like Behold the Pale White Horse. There's not nobody over here who don't know who wrote that book, what happened to him, and what's in the book. No, right. This is definitely why I'm glad we linking to, nation to nation, but we had a guy over here, long story short, who wrote a book called Behold the Pale White Horse. And he actually worked, let's say, in the areas of subject matter that he talked about. I'm gonna just say that. And so he was exposing all that shit. Aliens, all the shit the government was doing, he had all the receipts. He basically was what you call a whistleblower.
Oh man.
And they killed that man.
So again, he started to go off with his alien talk, but we're gonna get to that. So again, I definitely I'm on the same sense of thinking as in, wow, how comes the people can't wake up when it's so blatant in 2019? Like, there's only so much I can do and say and try and show, and that's for each other individual that's kind of trying to do the same sort of thing. But the difference between people like me, Seven Boma, the difference between somebody like Pharaoh, yeah, and these type of people, back to people like Brother Sanchez, myself, or Seven Boma, or Santos Bonacci, we're giving you the wholeness and directing you without any barriers or without any, any speed bumps, yeah. And especially the reason why he's not giving you the fullness is because he's got some type of affiliation with Boule, with some kind of frat boy fraternities. I don't know what the fullness is, but 100,000,000% there's something going on there. You can't be this smart and profess to be so smart and intelligent and into reality and not a fantasist, but yet you will say buffoonery like this. Oh, and before we even get to that, yeah, so again, I just want to quickly say it again. It's incredible that people still, for the most better part, are just still nowhere near awake when it comes to the masses. It's unbelievable how they're just getting played like a fiddle. It's unbelievable all the damage control, like this person here, Mr. Young Pharaoh. Yeah, we can see what you're doing. Yeah, all your Charlemagne's, all your Breakfast Club, it's just so much, and how the tentacles spread. You know what I mean? Minister Farrakhan, another fraud. All these things, man. Anyway, let's continue, because I don't want to sidebar too much about that. So as I say, I do hear what you're saying on that part. What you're saying, I'm with him on that part. Yeah, totally. Yeah. But, or to a degree, because obviously I'm not holding off giving out information. I'm not oathed up, packed up into some frat boy, whatever the fuck's going on there. You understand? You see the difference? I'm born in this. I'm not sworn in this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? So. Okay, so we're just going to have a couple of snips from his live stream the other day, of which, before he went live, I noticed his title for it when it was going to go live, yeah, and I quickly made the pre-video, about a 7-minute video, yeah, and then I made the main one the next day after, yeah, after his live stream. Now note the title: A Black Man Shot, Nipsey Hussle, Stop Blaming... Oops, sorry, adverts in the background. Yeah, it's saying, a black man shot, Nipsey Hussle, stop blaming the government with your conspiracies, yeah? Didn't you not just mention the guy that wrote the book and how he knew this and that and about aliens, and obviously that's conspiracy. Like, and also, where's the fact with those conspiracies? That's conspiracy theories. But we're going to continue and see how much theories and fantasies and how much of a realist this person actually is. And if they're doing it, because what we're trying to distinguish here is if they're doing it purposefully, holding back, yeah, or it's just, you know, a level of cognitive dissonance, you understand? Yeah, and their brain is just compartmentalized in particular ways, yeah, and they just can't find wholeness. You know what I'm saying? They can't get the fullness. Yeah, so this is what we're trying to distinguish. I've personally already distinguished it. Yeah, this is why now I'm making these videos, and as I say, for the UK girls and for everybody. Yeah, and this isn't even me trying to call shots as that. I'm a very neutral person. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm allowed to motherfucking say what the fuck I see, especially when it's so blatantly obvious. Yeah, so let's continue.
R.P. Dr. Savior, I think they murked my nigga. It been in there. I put that mixtape out over a year ago, and niggas is just now understanding who the fuck Dr. Savior was. So, come on now, niggas is whack. But go ahead, God, I'm gonna let you make your last point.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My last point is more so something that I've been wanting to ask you on a kind of personal tip as black people for a minute, and that is one who I'm really, because you know about this and I don't, and I strive to know about this. Who are we? What is our real strength, and why? I know our ancestors probably have little to no control over why we're in the position we're in American state, but still, why has nature saw fit for us to be in this position, and what is our true strength as extraterrestrials? Because I hear you talk about that a lot, and that's something that really sparks an interest in my mind.
Let me rephrase that so I can make sure I answer it right. You said basically, why are we in the position that we're in?
Correct.
Because niggas don't give a fuck, bro. It's no magical. See, let me say this, because I'm a realist. I don't live in fantasy land.
So just quickly, the man asks him about extraterrestrials, yeah, and obviously pertaining to the topic of the night with Nipsey Hussle, etc., etc. He's gonna just break down some stuff to, you know, pertaining to. So my point is, again, before we move on, he said he's not a fantasist. Yeah, he said he's a realist. Yeah.
I don't live in fantasy land. See, I'll expose that in the debate if we go there. Masonic Society. Oh, hold on, I'm not done.
Now, sorry, this is an old clip about 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years, about 2 years ago. Yeah. Now, please note what he said. Let's continue.
They created the Egyptology Society. This is a fact. Now, outside of that, let me prove my point. Go ahead, brother. There is an entire organization of Caucasians. They call themselves Gematologists. And they are ex-Egyptologists. And they are now exposing that Egyptology has now been neglecting to omit factual documentation of anything involving Egypt exceeding 6,000 years because it does not fit the Masonic agenda of religion. So why? Wait. Hold on. When we talk about diaries, we still have to break down who wrote the diary. Oh, not down. I'm about to do my point. Who wrote the diary? How it was allegedly translated, which will lead us right back to number one. The alleged person who wrote the diary, confirming the alleged story of the people who constructed the pyramid, still don't match the age of the goddamn pyramid. So I don't give a fuck if they say they found a diary. I don't give a fuck if they say they found video footage. I don't give a fuck if they say they found DNA evidence. If they the diary, let's just hold on, I'm not done. If they do not have video footage of Khufu and Khafre building that pyramid, then they cannot prove that the story that they allegedly successfully deciphered omits the truth in regards to these mummified remains, origin and creation of this period.
Videotape of your extraterrestrials, brother? Every time you bring that to the table. Do we need videotapes of astral projection?
I can bring a witness. I can bring a witness. But we're not talking about extraterrestrials right now. We're talking about. We're not talking about.
Can we talk about the extraterrestrials, please? Can we talk about the extraterrestrials, please?
What's that? should have brought some salt on this motherfucker so I could have said.
We live in a world. We talk about the world of a convenient truth, where the world works for you if you choose to go back.
The world has video footage. The world has video footage of extraterrestrials.
And the world has experiments that still exist.
Wrong
that
answer.
can be accommodated amongst a host of contemporary.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. So we can prove. Hold on. So we can prove through the
Small knuckle.
I'm just gonna slip my wide. I wish this bitch would turn the wide tonight.
No problem. Well, let me go through this in order.
You use big words to say a whole lot of small nothing. So that's my question.
Okay, guys. Small knuckle.
I'm just gonna slip my wide. I wish this bitch would turn the wide tonight.
No problem. Well, let me go through this in order. Small nothing would be an oxymoron, so of course these big words would seem a bit inflammatory to you when I'm using them. 1. 2, you ask the moderator why she wouldn't ask the question you're asking. The answer to that question is
Good questions. She's not asking. She's
you
not
ask
asking.
the moderator how come she didn't ask me a question about Shaka Atmos and Brother Polite having a debate about extraterrestrials and them being assisted, or pardon me, human beings being assisted by extraterrestrials, which you should have said, but you misquoted what took place. Fine. But the answer to your question is that the reason why she didn't ask that question because she's newly found to the community and she didn't come across that data yet. And so
How she come across me saying I had an extraterrestrial experience a year and damn near 2 years ago, but she knew to the community. So she knew.
let me answer that question.
She knew to ask me that, but she didn't know that.
An extraterrestrial experience, yeah?
She didn't know to ask me that.
Well, here we go.
And please note, this guy here, a big fraud. Another one from the boule, yeah? Clearly.
When she first opened her mouth, Pharaoh, all of this is insane. When she first opened her mouth, the first thing she said, honestly, is, I'm going to read to
Or if not directly in there, he's definitely being affiliated with.
you the questions that I was asked to ask you. She actually said this in the very beginning of the show, Pharaoh. So, that would tell you that someone else did.
Thank you for proving my point. She's asking questions that she was asked to ask me. But now, where is the question that I would like for her to ask you? See,
I
now,
was getting there.
that's why I say I've been in this position before. Whole panel versus Pharaoh. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. What this shit say? Supreme being.
Brother
Okay?
Pharaoh,
Supreme being.
Brother Pharaoh, you're
Okay.
pulling a filibuster. First of all, none of this had to do with the question she asked me that I was answering. I will close out on that question because you're not going to be able to hold tight just to let me complete it. I'll close out. I'll do the rest when we actually have our way in, since you agreed to doing it. I'll leave that alone. I believe I said enough for people to understand. I have a starting point, and I.
Right, and before we get into this clip, please note, again, check out my last video, well, it'll be in the description, yeah? If he's so, about freeing the minds and aiding the people, and I'm not saying you can't have some trinkets and stuff from other cultures and that, but when you understand the screw-faced Pharaoh that he has behind him, that he reps hard, yeah, and all the rest of the Egypt shit, basically through Roman, Greek, Babylonian, etc., yeah, the New World Order began via Egypt, yeah. So again, check out Brother Sanchez. He goes ridiculously deep and intricate on that stuff. Big up Brother Sanchez, Seven Boma, also Santos, and all others, yeah, that are on that type of path. This guy, he does talk a lot of sense. Trust me, I can give him due on many occasions, yeah, with his receipts, etc. But failed heavily consistently through the years, so hence why you need to get slightly lit up or more than lit up. And as I say, this is a neutral thing. It's not even me hitting shots. This is your own doing. This is me doing it. This is your own doing. Yeah. And I'm allowed to assist others to see. And if they don't, as I say, if they don't want to see and they still want to believe that they're spinning through the cosmos at ridiculous this and that, which we're going to get to, that's up to them. If they still want to believe, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because each to their own. But as I say, this isn't a thing that's going to carry on every day now, is it? It's just a follow up. If I'd have caught this would have been in the last video. Then I'd have been done. Yeah. But anyway.
Let's just say if we say, okay, this is traveling at the speed of light, okay, we would have to factor in the speed of light depending upon a specific source. So we know that the sun is a star. So there are suns that are hundreds of times our sun. So now you got to take that speed of light and multiply that by the time of that sun. And so there's colors and vibrations and frequencies out there that we can't even fathom because they don't exist on our plane of reality. So when we're talking about what creates our reality is created by our spectrum of light that we are confined to. And so now this goes, hand in hand with the signs of the age of Aquarius, because we've been living in a certain prism of light for 2,160 years. Now, coming into the year 2034 will be the actual starting year of the age of Aquarius. Right now, we're in what is called the cusp, which means we just left Pisces and we're not quite in Aquarius, but we're on our way there. And so to give people this science before I continue on, the way that you measure this is first you have to understand the module of the solar system. A lot of people, it may not be your fault, but in school they teach people that the sun is stationary and the planets are revolving around the sun and rotating on their axis around the sun in their revolution in their individual orbits. That is incorrect. It's incorrect. It's not true. The way that the sun travels around the galaxy, I like to give people the analogy of like when you see somebody get married and then you see the cans being, dragged on the back of the car. So the sun is actually traveling around the galaxy at 77,000 kilometers per hour. Okay, I want to say 130,000 miles per hour if I'm not mistaken. Go inside my drawer.
Wrong answer.
So with that being said, as the sun is traveling around the galaxy, it's pulling the planets. And the planets are not orbiting around the sun. They're actually vortexing or spiraling behind it. And so every 2,160 years, the sun travels 30 degrees around the galaxy. AKA it goes through one zone.
Okay, let's put the brakes on.
No. You see what these agents do? Time to put a stop to this buffoonery. No. Yeah? Apparently, we are spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Yeah? Orbiting the sun at 66.6 thousand miles an hour on an elliptic orbit that's going to decelerate and accelerate as it comes around the arc of the orbit. Yeah? Corkscrewing following the sun on the arm of the Milky Way at 550,000 miles an hour. Huh? No. Stop the buffoonery, yeah? Clearly, the sun and the moon are at equal distance. Yeah? Oh. Yeah? We'll get to where the sun and the moon, but this is what they want you to believe, yeah? I mean, really? See, what you have to learn to do is reverse engineer the buffoonery and understand why they want you off your equilibrium and your spiritual balance. Do you know what I mean? Off your pivot point. Yeah? So again, see Polaris, I know it's a bit ruffled and scrumbled. There's not the best visuals there. But, it's pretty obvious that you wouldn't even see the same stars after 6 months with all this motion. There's 5 different motions going on. Yeah? Hannah, I swear you said that you was on a trip recently. Did I tell you to put your seatbelts on, yeah? Because you was upside down. Yeah. Yeah? So again, clearly, now as I say, I don't know if it's an infinite plane. Yeah? I don't know if it's like a disc. Yeah, with like if you had like discs stacked up on top of each other, like on the spindle, which we'll get to, and you'll understand why I was kind of saying that. But again, Clearly the sun and the moon are equal distance. Yeah, they're just there. The sun is not 93 million miles away. And look at this, they copy and place the clouds in, yeah? Copy and paste and place the clouds, yeah? Unbelievable. Sometimes you can see it says sex on it as well when you spin around, when you rotate the earth. With the moon and shots from there, if you do the saturation, you can see like a box around the moon and stuff like that, or the earth, yeah? It's all fraud. I mean, they want you to believe all of this is happening. Look at all the debris and supposed satellites around the earth. When do you ever see all of this? Look, notice that it's only CGI that you get. You haven't seen anything live. All they do is give you harnesses and pretend that they're floating in space in the ISS, and pretend to put cars in space. You can tell it's real because it looks so fake. And then I have agents everywhere, like this guy, yeah, talking buffoonery to keep instilling the nonsense and the Hegelian dialect. So again, understanding the practice of Gematria now, and the number system, and a bit of Hermeticism and stuff like that, it begins to make sense when you come across things like the Masonic compass and why it's kicked out at 23.5 degrees, matching the tropics of Cancer. Is this playing? Oh yeah, matching the tropics of Cancer. And you know, English, occult, gematria, parables, Jesus, cross. Basically, A is 1, Z is 26. All these things equal 74. Yeah. So my point is, again, in gematria, the only wandering star that equals 93 is Saturn. Yeah. And when he's talking about, basically, look, when he's talking about the corkscrewing effect behind the wedding dress, basically, say like Venus, over a period of 8 years, it will draw out a concave pentagram in the sky. Yeah, it will draw out a concave pentagram in the sky. Yeah. So my point is, all your like flower of life and all that sort of stuff, that gets drawn out, but not in the way that he's saying it, dragging along and doing all that stuff. No. Yeah. The sun and the moon's just there, yin and yang. They're the same polar opposite of each other, so to speak. Yeah. It coils in and out. The sun and the moon coils in and out, goes up and down at its highest point. When it's in winter, it's out and wide. Yeah. So again, it's pretty obvious what's going on. You know, if you go on D Marble's channel, you can see a 24-hour sun. He went to Alaska. He filmed 24-hour sun going around in a circle. Yeah. So again, all is toroidal fields, yeah? Your heart is green, the heart chakra. Earth is green, and it's an anagram for earth, yeah? All is toroidal fields, your torso, yeah? Toroidal fields, your aura, your Taurus field. Yeah, and that's all it is. It's just layers and layers of Taurus fields. Yeah, and without your Taurus field, you wouldn't even be animate in your body. Basically, you are your Taurus field, just animating a body for a while. Yeah, but obviously, if you bring up your awareness good enough in the midst of the whole program and become kind of self-aware and understand your law of attraction, etc., and how you can project your dreams for basically things that come into your reality, how you manifest, etc. Once you understand this to a higher degree, then that's when you will mature and you'll get enlightened. That's as much as I can say. Sorry, because I don't want to veer off too much. because I'm going to make a nice organic Gematria video, and I'm going to talk a lot about law of attraction and a bit more why they use the number system. Because if the reality itself is basically based off of torus fields, and we can, you know, use maths to pinpoint and measure what we're seeing, like the ratio of why the plants spread out a particular way, like the 1.68, your finger, you see your first bend of your finger, or you actually say your whole finger, yeah, then to your knuckle, to your wrist, then from your wrist to your elbow, from your elbow to your shoulder, that'll be 0.1.68, like the ratio measurements. But that's how it works all the time. It's like the golden ratio and stuff like that. So again, all it is just a tiny bit of reverse engineering, yeah, simple stuff, simple. Again, we don't need a mile long equation on a blackboard talking about gravity, when clearly it's just simple buoyancy and density, you know. It's not hard. And also, gravity is doing some amazing work keeping us down while the sun's doing its thing, you know, and we're all corkscrewing and all this madness. Okay, that's interesting. And water's always flat.
Alright, guys, now let's get into the meat of it all.
And we're going to round off with Santos. We've got Jay Tolan coming up. We've got Brother Sanchez. And then close out with Seven Boma, yeah? And as I say, this isn't even the best bits of these people. It was just like, alright, let me just grab that, obviously. And then I know, obviously, for myself on my side, for you, it's going to be intriguing enough for you to go and check these people out. And then, you know, for you to evaluate it yourself, obviously, you know. It's okay to learn from other people and various people, but you still obviously have to dissect it, understand it for yourself, basically, in a nutshell, because I don't want to be too long-winded. I want these guys to just deal with the case.
Let's get into the meat of it all. What I want to do, before I go any further, reset my camera, of course, is I would like to show you a presentation that I'm developing called All Is Atum. I've been promising to release this for the last 2 years. So it's now up to 450 pages, and it will totally remove any idea from people's minds that there never was a period in history when everything was syncretic and all philosophies were one. Okay? In the Bible, where it talks about God confusing the languages at Babel, well, essentially that is a natural process of science disintegration through the ages, through the low ages, like the Kali Yuga, the Iron Age. Science disintegrates. Okay? So this is why in the sacred books like the Bible, Bhagavad Gita, Quran, they have encoded this language of energy, which is God. What you just seen is God. Please don't believe that all that magnetism you just saw is an unconscious energy field. No. Please don't do that. Please don't be so ignorant to miss the magic, M-A-G, in magnetism. When we leave our original home, transcendence and unconditionedness, we acquire a body, and that body is made of red blood and blue water. So it's red blood, blue blood, and its matter is expressed by those 7 colours of the rainbow, which the rainbow is redshift worship. Have his consort, white light magnetism, Ra, and their child, or brother, or whatever, doesn't matter, it's all the same stuff, is Bell, electricity. Okay? So this is the Trinity of Godhead, guys. Is Ra-El. It's ice. See here, Isis is ice. Ra is water, rain. Ra, rain, water. And Elion is water vapor. Okay, it's all this. All right. So I'm out of here, man. Now we're going to go to my just going to save that.
It goes to show how deep you can go on one subject. There's just so much. Oh yeah.
See the crown chakra. You see what Ganesh is the cerebrospinal system, guys. The two ears are the cerebran, and the trunk is the spinal cord, which is 18 inches long, exactly half of a yard, 36, 18, 36, 360 degrees. That is science. See the crown chakra? The crown on his head is blue, because blue. All of this is blue shift on the head. We've got indigo and violet chakras, that's blue. It's all blue shift. And red, hell, is down. Okay? And that's all science. See that colour blue? See the chakras there? Red at the bottom, red shift, blue shift at the top. Okay? That's what's blue. Alright, now. So, I can see there's a bit of light. Okay, so these are root words, guys. These are root words that you must get familiar with. Tor, as in Taurus. And as I said before, uterus. The word truth, the word tree, the word free. This is the tough of the Hebrews. The tough. So you've got your nexus there of your Yggdrasil tree. This is the plane of inertia, which is the Earth. Okay? You have 7 subterranean planets, hellish planets here, and you have 7 planets above us doing their orbits. Moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Okay? So this is terra firma. Torah. Firma. Around here you have the firmament. Firmament. Terra firma. See this plane of inertia? Planet.
Oh, and something I forgot to say before. You know, like how these people love to invert stuff and do all of that stuff, yeah? Clearly, yeah? They give you the round spinning motion, but really you're still in stationary. You see how they play on your senses? Yeah, so don't give your senses away, yeah? And especially be careful because you know, there's a lot of agents and, you know, there's a lot of different people out here. So just be careful of who you bump into in the sub-matrix, yeah? In a nutshell, sorry to cut this guy off just then, but let's continue.
Planet. A planet is not a ball. It's not a Humpty Dumpty globe. It's not a Santa ball. Planet.
Because in a way it's circular, but it's the flat plane, and then so in essence it's kind of round, but an energy field is.
Well, this is the problem. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, the Earth's round." Yeah, it is setting that curvature there, not that curvature there. But this is what you can't reason with materialists. They love their herd mentality, and because the demon worshipping cult of Santa Ball teaches that we live on a ball, the Jesuits have been teaching us this since Copernicus. They defend and stick with their upside down spinning ball because they're delusional. But that's not our problem. Our quest is to learn truth. We are servants of truth above all else. Truth is the first principle, previous and before all other principles. It is before good, it is before beauty, it is before love, it is before light. Truth is before every other virtue and principle, and we are servants of truth.
And guess what? That's what I was gonna say. Guess what? We have a duty to carry.
Yeah, infrared camera. That's what people are putting on their P900s and P1000s now. Yeah. Oh shit! Sorry. Sorry if the sound's a bit whack on this one. As I say, check out his channel. I mean, overall, just take in the obvious stuff what he's showing you, innit? The comparison to if it's on a ball, you wouldn't be seeing the distance. And remember, buildings would be tilting backwards, wouldn't they? Yeah. Obviously, as well, if we don't live on a proposed burrito, so obviously it's spherical. That means panoramically, everything's going to be tilting away from you. So where is this? I've never seen it. Yeah, never yet. And so, and if you want to go to boats and stuff, then well, obviously you got the horizon line, and basically basically things vanish in that line. Yeah, with these cameras now, people are pulling back the boat. There's nothing. The boat didn't go anywhere. Yeah, it's not going to go upside down. It's just as a plane's not going to go upside down. They don't keep tilting the plane to go upside down. I mean, you know what I'm saying. They don't tilt the plane to counterbalance, so then it doesn't fly off into space, and then obviously the plane doesn't actually go upside down. Yeah. All nonsense. So again, anybody on this campaign still in 2019, clearly you have a mental problem, yeah, or you are a tentacle of the agency, yeah, via they live. Clearly, yeah. The true tribe don't need this bullshit. So be gone. Vamos. See, it just doesn't add up, does it? I mean, I mean, look at this. Yeah, what is it? 8 mile per square inch.
Scarce. The people who taught you an illusion of scarcity and that you got to pay for these things and pay for that
Or 8 inch per square mile. Sorry.
also changed the cosmology from flat
I
earth
can't remember.
cosmology
Whatever the
to
case,
cosmology.
if he brought it, whatever the case, it just don't add up. So when it comes to the buffoonery now, I just can't even compute it. Basically, that's my point. It's just like what? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. I don't compute, mate.
Cosmology to globe cosmology. This is important because flat earth is so deeper than the shape of the earth. It's about infinite energy. See, a globe represents scarcity. A small blue speck where life is overpopulating this little blue ball and there's not enough room. Flat earth represents an infinite plane and a great map deception where they're taking away so many hidden lands off the map that's only accessible
So again, we're definitely not doing all of that stuff. Yeah? Absolute nonsense. Absolute buffoonery. That is not what's happening. Yeah? Can you guys and you agents please stop the buffoonery? There's your North Star, Polaris. Yeah, if you do a time lapse, you've probably seen it before. Clearly, that wouldn't happen if we was doing all this corkscrewing and motions. Yeah. Look, no, the axis. That's why you can see the tilt. The axis that they tell you, you can see how the pole is coming down from Polaris, the pole star. And pole star equals 47. Remember those 47s that I said before? And you see that? Obviously, again, the toroidal fields, like cogs in a watch, obviously they're going to meet and they go in opposite directions. Yeah? That's what's happening. And again, everything is geocentric. Yeah? As above, so below. So if everything's geocentric, you revolve around me, I revolve around you in your world. Yeah? Not heliocentric. Yeah? Helios, Biblios, Bibelos, bullshitos.
Superior Brachihim Yum Brach, the Brahmin. You know, basically being in a stupor, everybody has one. Everybody has a mind that's basically either awake or asleep. The condition of your mind and your consciousness is based on your condition of your entire vehicle, mind, body, and soul. You know, get it together. You know, get the oxygen flowing. So here's the deep knowledge. Now, celluloid, remember I told you about the laws of light? And I told you that there are laws that you see on the periodic table, that you see in the actual physics, if you may, of life. And these laws, what they govern is they govern what really is happening on the chemical level in the background. So any kind of, let's say, magic is not magic at all. What it is just being extremely aware of exactly how the construct is put together. And I told you, 10 years ago that the Queen of England and the people that she represents had this agenda to find out completely how the world was created. And they enlisted some of the most enigmatic people of that time in order to be able to accomplish discovering that. And they found it. And not only did they find that information, they also found out how to communicate, which a lot of people don't know how to do. Through, of course, languages such as the Enochian language.
Oh, I didn't realise the talking so off. Why is the talking so off? Didn't I first record this yesterday?
Languages, they suck.
Anyway, catch the audio.
They began to communicate with.
Sorry, and I'm talking all over it. But yeah, obviously, if you're even watching this far, obviously just hop over to in a standing channel, or I've already got this in my playlist or whatever somewhere. If you just check on my channel anyway, you're gonna find it. Or I mirrored it, sorry, so it's already on my channel. Either way, but definitely go over and check out in a standing and all affiliated subscriptions via my channel.
They began to communicate with the if world, and I'll get into that world with you in just a moment. But if you understand Enochian, what you understand that's happening here is that there is a cone that is being utilized. Let me see if they got somebody that is aware. One of our pictures can completely come up. There we are. Okay, so this is a cone language. And that same cone is actually the cone that is in this demon's hand, because these are bird demons. Okay, like this is why you're shown even in the paintings of antiquity that there is a dark bird demon running around. This is a very, very old depiction. Like this is one of the oldest depiction of what is really happening in the square. But this doesn't seem that old, because it's like, oh, where did that come from? And it's because that's that old hated bird. It's talked about
about in the scripture all the time. They even show it to you in movies, and they get it to you that, hey, there's something going on with another group of beings that they love to call watchers. There's some that are aligned and some are disaligned, some agreeable, some disagreeable. 200 of them came. Yes, they're not going to give you a call, but you're giving them 200 of them came and agreed to do the deed to actually mix in with the human race as it was then the composite simian. And that watch, which we've been able to not only remanufacture but enhance, known as the cosmic clock, that watch is responsible for this being's ability to phase in and out of time, just like they live. Remember that the whole form of being able to move around is the watch from these beings that they're referring to here. Okay? The Rolex watch, right? So this is symbolic to the watchers, those who move through time, those who keep causing things like what you call Mandela effects, okay, which is moving you through time through these cone languages, which are also embedded within English and embedded within a lot of the stuff that they're embedding the reality with. And it's a hard and sober drink that empowers you and empowers those who are willing to listen and not just dumb out into this, oh, everything is fine, as long as this is how you see it. If you're a powerful being, you already know that something's actually up and we're about to break some spells. These are the watchers painting on the roof of Baalbek. Nobody really got that shot. We look up at the roof and see, what's been coming forth from the center of the hexagram, which is often shown. So this language, as I said, was bought by a gentleman that we know that's named John D., also known as 007 or Tubal King. Let's see if we can get that. There's enough out there now. We know that. Okay. So we know that John D., who was working with the Queen, he was the first spy, if you may, into the spiritual world. They spied on the spiritual world. There's an if world, and the matriarchs were holding space in that world, which we'll get to in just a minute, meaning that there was a lot of activity going on in the if world, and the balance of bringing souls here into the physical experiences were put into the hand of the matriarch. And it's really, really heavy duty because there's a lot of different kind of spirits out there, and also when spirits come in that are not supposed to be here, you have to figure out how to get rid of them, and so you have to end up enlisting other spirits to get rid of certain spirits, and so that's what the ancient mothers were handling in the darkness. These were the deeper covens, and this is what was usurped, if you may, by the negative, distorted masculine. If you can't even give them that name, if you can't even give them these names, that's the reality. Like anything you associate with being great, don't even utter their name in conjunction with it. So let's keep going. So what I'm getting at here is that this knowledge, which I call the language of light, is not only just this language of communication with the if world, it's also the laws of the periodic table, because in the Priory of Sion, all of the members of the Priory of Sion were pretty much the people responsible for bringing this knowledge of going into Earth and taking the knowledge that Earth is exhibiting by cutting her open, actually doing surgery on people and going all into the jungle and killing animals and pushing viruses, psychologically manipulating. All of this stuff was coming out of the Priory. Okay? And they were charged with trying to figure out how this whole thing was created, and when they discovered it, they locked the knowledge away. That is their original secrets of these societies. So what we have in their set of knowledge is something very powerful, something that actually allows the breaking of a matrix. Okay? Because when it comes to stars, many people already now are intuitively realizing that somehow they connect to trees, right? So I can continue to realize that I'm saying the same thing for the last 10 years, and so it's really about whether you're listening or not, whether this realm has reached the aptitude level of being able to dial stories about that, like in relation to the pillars and the ancestors. And let me check on this audio really briefly. Just because I'm now watching it, so that the randomness that can happen. Just give me a quick second. Pop into YouTube. Exactly how you planned it, and that's the power. That's the power right there. Okay, good. So I'm looking at my live now, and I'm seeing the chat, and everybody's saying I'm sounding good. Thank you, family. Thank you for holding space. Those brothers out there at Vision Quest, not in Vision, but Vision Quest. Tearing night and day, 400 prayers. Going into the four corners, standing. Just standing in the gap, not only for us, standing in the gap for themselves. We see you, we hear you, and actually it's so loud. My brother Ryan is wherever you are, man. Like, geez, like I just hear songs. I know when he's on a journey because his songs just amplify in my head. It may do that to other people, but that's how we send those prayers to this organic grid. So let's keep going here. So one of the laws of light is actually that. So with trees, and this is what we were talking about. We were talking about the connection between how trees are, in fact, stars. And if you could imagine then that because you're in water now, and that's what we talked about, like remember if we turn a distiller on right now, you're going to suck all this water out of this air. So this means that you're in water right now. And you're breathing underwater. You're actually still in, let's say, that Atlantean kind of framework where you're breathing underwater. It's just different densities and different vibrations in those islands of Atlantis. So while you're in this water, though, there are very massive forms that are here that when this construct is working properly, when this technology, this GUI, this HUD turns on, which is one of the higher, to get a crown to turn on, it's like a real achievement. It's not just, you can do it for a moment with certain substances, but to completely keep it on and actually get it to tune in and dial in properly to show you the truth, that's a light path because you really have to actually earn that and do that. So substances do that and help you. They give you a vision, but they're also giving you their eyesight into it. So it's great to have your own stuff that's actually working perfectly, right? And so what you find is that when you turn that eye on, there are these huge macros, we call them, larger lights that are just stationed out there, like gigantic forms, vast intellects. Like I can't explain it to you. It goes beyond explanation. And they're like mirrored into what people visually call stars, okay? And they're also themselves like the souls of large trees, okay? So in the laws of light, which is basically in physics and in chemistry, that's how the density of everything is discovered. Like a lot of people keep saying because of the programming they're under, they don't know anything. And no, it's not like that. It's all lies. But if you got a lab yourself and you go study, there's real chemists on YouTube. You ain't gonna lie about something in the beaker. Oh, they're making it work like that. Come on, man. This is real chemistry. You just don't know it. So in chemistry, you can tell the entire firmament and how everything is exactly made. And with that, there is a notation in many scientific works. Let's go forward to that. That not only the same substance that surrounds trees, like plants, the cellulose, surrounds trees and surrounds plants, but also surrounds stars. Like the most adjacent film to the star is this gelatinous polymer called cellulose. work is known. It's facts. Okay, like it was the facts. Okay, you want to go get the facts? You want to go play around in the lab? You want me to play around a little bit with it and show it to you? And this polymer is actually capable of doing quite a few different things. Most importantly, though, what we're honing in on today is the use of this polymer to create film stock. Because when you start thinking about how the program is put together, Matrix Ultra, I call it now. Hashtag. How Matrix Ultra is put together, I'm going to tell you exactly how Matrix Ultra is put together so you can break Matrix Ultra. Okay? I'm going to show you exactly how they put it together. Because now that even you see now that the film stock is actually containing the same film or made of the same film, that the film that stars is next to the stars. Are these kind of like the stars? The as below stars? This is going to click for you in a whole different kind of way here in a moment. If you think already like, aha, wait till you see how this is going to roll out. So we know that in this industry, they have these as below stars, basically, fallen ones. We know Hollywood was set up by Aleister Crowley, by the way. And all of the occult art of how the dimension is really set up is actually playing out in Hollywood completely. And I'm going to show you step by step how now there's a lot of worlds or programs running in a point-to-point system in everyone's mind due to the use, first of all, of understanding that we are stars, we are trees, we have roots. The next thing to us, the next film is actually celluloid. That's why I said also the silicas and the silicates, which is what computers are made out of. All this we have a very strong relationship with on the dimension, in the realm. So not only is it on the periodic table, not only is it in the bond of the chemistry, it's also something we even act out and do every single day. So we have this bonding towards these kind of materials. These materials literally bond. That's what the polymer is, to bond something. So of course then, because everything is occult, and now that you're waking up even more, you realize that even bonding things and certifying things and all of this jargon, especially the jargon related around bank, money, liquid, loan shark, not only liquid but current. All of those words are all telling you what maritime law really is and what the maritime language really is about money. Because the first maritimers were the boats. And obviously, they have a whole story for me coming up here in a moment. So purple-faced folks, it's time to really get some of these raptors or these phonetically based raptors that have come out of Kemet that have not been able to send their beetles into their sarcophaguses in a minute, because it's just time for the great level of the awakening. And when that happens, a lot of stuff just gets bodied as we weigh these souls against these feathers in order to see whether they're still in judgment. So what happens is this star, all this is satanic in intent to where how you understand Satan. This Satan is the most enigmatic being. It's almost like Satan is a male and Satan's a female. Satan's a concept, Satan's a way of being, Satan's nighttime. So you have a very active antithesis in the dialogue. And so when you want to say, well, who keeps up the antithesis, because Satan is serious enough to put a bullet in you. Satan is lead. Satan is Saturn. Male or female, whatever it really is, it'll serve it to you. So because of that, it puts things in a whole different concept and context, because it's one of the most active energies that we've seen running through these dimensions for thousands of years. You can come back and you'll still find thousands of people actually bringing through satanic principles, whatever balance or whatever off they may be, however balanced or however off they may be. Why? Because everything is degrees of power. Everything is energy. So in degrees of power, if you take on a force and you're not ready to assess that level of force and balance, then it also want to let everybody know, when you see how this will all roll out for you today, if you have friends, if you want to see real solutions for this happen ASAP, check us out at fun.secretenergy.com and what's going on with Mindful app. Now we realize exactly how the programming is taking place because on this film strip, which is made out of the same film that is actually covering the outside of your consciousness as a star, what is projected through this film, which actually blocks out a specific UV range. This is why sunglasses, which had multiple uses, came into existence via Hollywood. Let me show you. It says clearly that since the 1940s, sunglasses have been a popular fashion as an accessory. And here it is right here. Sunglasses have been long associated with celebrities in film and actors, primarily from the desire to mask their identity. Okay? And it'll keep going on, and it'll talk about how all these stars and actors were so instrumental in actually making sure that people started wearing these sunglasses. Now, as they live coming to mind, because if the sunglass or the celluloid can actually block out certain wavelengths, this means if you know this art, which is actually dealing with nitrates and actually dealing with silver salts, if you know this art, you're able to create a film that blocks out certain wavelengths of light but allows others in, allowing you to see things others cannot. Also, as a vampire, and these beings are vampires, it blocks out rays that are actually harmful for them. The rays that we call illumination rays that give us wisdom and knowledge. Those are in the UV spectrum, right? So they can block those out. In addition, it allows them, yes, to sneak around. And it also, people who wear sunglasses for prolonged periods, their eyes weaken. So it just goes on and on and on and on and on about this. This is not even the beginning. I just want to establish for you that this film is actually originally created and was always created using the cellulose film. And that the cellulose film now, when you start thinking about it, I have to ask you then, what is real? What is real? Because there's another word called real, which is REEL, and that's where they wrap the film. Okay? So this is how this real world is created. So they take this celluloid, which is symbolic again. The star is already embedded in there, right, in the negative. Okay? And then this celluloid framework is put around the star, just how it's depicted as above. So when the projector comes through, it's able to spray it right into the person's mind's eye. So from here, it's put onto the real, because the real is symbolic to the planet. The reals, as I've always mentioned, I said that actually the Earth, when people were asking me, so Seven, what do you think? Is it flat? You know, like, is it flat or round? Or do you want to argue? I'll be like, look, man, I'm going to tell you how it was when I was out there and what it looks like, not from what other people were saying. And then you will bear witness from all of your symbolism. Okay? It looked like this, basically. Each of these discs, folks, was just out there. And let me move this over a little bit. Folks were just out there. All their memories. And they were so far away from the center of themselves, the spindle, that they even thought that this was all even real, and this was the only one on this flat disk of data, which is really running in their consciousness. This is not a place. This is something you're existing in because you choose to. It's in a construct in your consciousness. So what happened is that as you try to move to the center of the spindle, you keep running into more people who are insisting that they've gone all the way and insisting they know everything that's going on. And this actual phenomenon actually strengthens as you get to the center, as if it's pushing you back out. If you happen to make it to the elevator, which is what's known as fourth dimension, you can actually get into other spaces to where you actually see that there is time lags and different variations that's happening on the spindle. But truly, as above, so below, that there is a repetitive system why it's always these kind of occult symbols like the pentagram or the hexagram, which you recognize in many things. Because it is symbolic again to a disk, which is the planet, right? Phi, right? And Phi in every level, because this continuous twist that's happening with this celluloid strip, which also for music becomes a magnetic strip, is just coiled over and over and over and over and over and over. Like if you ever took a film strip and you just threw that thing down the street, some have done that with tapes, right? And it's just like, it's pretty long, right? So what happens is when that's playing into your consciousness, it's like a worm. It creates this long film strip of characters inside of your consciousness. And this is the beginning of their dark magic. It's not just phantasmagoria. Because what happens then is that, see, you saw Snow White and I saw Snow White. So technically, Snow White is in there, the disc. And when that whole thing played out, there was a character that, through the Welfenschankery, through William I, through John Dewey, and through the school systems embedding in these nursery rhyme, the Grimm brothers, who they enlisted to make bring several words into the English from the German. So when they enlisted all of them to create this curriculum that we were put under through the schooling system, it set up all of these characters inside that would be the triggers to the characters that would be assigned to you through the movies that you would gravitate to through astronomy. Okay, because these are the as below stars. And so when you take on that character, which you do subconsciously, another person has also taken on another character. So based on the Hegelian dialect, or the form of conflict that one is engaging in with another person, the film strip of the actual, or the film, that's the disconnect, we'll just call it that, the film or the disconnect starts to run, and each person assumes a character. Definitely you can see how this is happening more and more as people become embedded into the framework. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just introduced to you the real matrix, and I've done that at a calm voice. So let's keep going. So now there's a literal gap then. See if I can still find that. Let's close this. So that celluloid film, like I told you, there was a film, just like these sunglasses, the film between you and you, the real you. And then there's these programs running, and that's why folks be tripping.
Bare narcissistic off-key people about the place. It's a cesspool. They're fucking everywhere. Yeah, and the government's built like that. It's just all off-key, and then you've got they live. You know, wow. Trust me, it's just crazy. So be careful out here, my tribe members.
Tripping, man. Folks be tripping over me, y'all. I'm dead serious, man. Would you believe it? After all of this, you know, that's why it'll show you, man, it don't have no respect for anything. That's why you always have to look out for yourself. You always have to look out for yourself, because then you can look out for everybody else. You must stay awake. The TV was a Trojan horse, these sneaky bastards, the Saguni type, as we call it.
Okay. So, if you made it this far, thank you very much. But you didn't really have to. But I thought I'd just close out with that anyway. Much love, wholeness, flat mother loving power. And again, know all the layers of the agenda and the layers of the buffoonery and Hegelian dialect that's going on. Yeah? Because if you don't, it may be your demise in some way, shape or form, yeah? So do as you can and enlighten those that want to be enlightened. But at the end of the day, you can't make a horse drink from the water. Do you know what I mean, so to speak? So you can only do so much anyway, as I said earlier. Yeah, and that's why I said I side with Pharaoh with what he was saying with that first, but what I showed in the whole of this video. So as I say, I may not be here forever doing like uploading and just like Brother Sanchez, but I'm definitely about it though. But at the end of the day, for it to amplify, it needs more people, and more people obviously ignite and keep my flame going. Do you know what I mean? Even though I've already unpacked the file, consolidated what I need to, and zipped it back up, and now I've got a particular style of understanding of what's going on. Not saying I know it all, of course not. Never gonna know it all, and I don't want to know it all. And that's part of the wonder as well. I don't want to know it all because that's part of the wonder. But anyway, wholeness.